That's a great question. By the way, congratulations on reaching $1 million. That's quite a threshold that most companies never reach. And engaging, obviously, the region is very blessed to have many professionals in the marketing and the marketing industry. So there's a lot of professionals to seek out to help with this, which is terrific. But companies large and small benefit from having experts help them. Sometimes having an ongoing relationship may not be affordable with a marketing company, but having social media expertise to get you off the ground is invaluable. Because it's creating a foundation and it's giving you the right tactics to move forward so that you have that foundation. And there are many organizations that, as part of having an agency or someone helping them, that's just another component that they're assisted with. So companies large and small hire outside help, and it's a great investment. It's not always for each company, but it's talking is free. So you always can reach out to one of the agencies in the region or find some specialty agencies and have a conversation, see if it's for you.
Okay, that's great. That's it for the questions right now.
Great. Andy, what's your thoughts on all this and how it applies to businesses as they seek to grow?
These tools are potentially saving people time and energy in finding their target clients. They are real game changers for small business. If you look at the history of the Internet age, and the first breakthroughs were small computer platforms, and then with the computers allowing and the communication over the Internet allowing smaller businesses to begin to compete with large corporations, which began back in the 80s and then proliferated in the 90s, and then allowed businesses to establish themselves with a presence through websites, which emerged significantly in the 90s. And now we're into, okay, so now I've arrived, I have a presence, and I now have to make people aware that I'm here. And the traditional vehicles of advertising and promotion that could be very, very expensive and prohibitively expensive for small businesses are now being taken over by, as you said at the beginning of your presentation, by what is essentially a free platform. That said, I think small businesses have to be careful to put a budget together to work with the social media tools, and it is primarily labor, whether it's on staff or vended out to a firm or a group of firms. You need to spend money on this to get it done. It still is. It's now shifting the money from I'm going to pay to have an ad out there to I'm going to pay to have someone working on my messaging. But these are going to be the tools that small business will use to continue to proliferate and expand. Most small businesses, I think, here outside of their local geography, that people don't know who they are, they don't know where they are, they don't know what's available in terms of buyers trying to find them. And so social media is taking the barriers down to that. And that then becomes the essential tool, in my opinion, or group of tools that will allow small business to continue to expand and develop over the next 10 to 20 years.
Well, thanks very much, everyone, for listening. And thank you, Andy, and thank you, Dutchess County EDC, for having me.
Well, thanks. Josh, if you don't mind, we've got 2 more questions that came in.
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Cool. This is great. The first question brings up something that I wasn't even aware of, so I'm excited about this. The question is, instead of blogging with a B, what about vlogging with a V, as in Victor, as in posting videos on YouTube, etc.?
That's great. I'll share with everyone. If you want to, if that's great, and video is that's not as widely used as blogging, but I'll tell you that we're doing so much work with video and your website can be so much more dynamic and your social media can be so much more dynamic. Video is an absolute, it's been around for a long time, but more and more companies are doing it. A lot of our economic development attraction marketing that we're doing, instead of sending out mailers, and that's still a component to it, we're doing video so that site selectors can look at a county and just go get a video and instant gratification of what sites are available and what pertains to them. I mean, so video blogging is a terrific vehicle. The usage and the accessibility just aren't as high, and there's less opportunity with search engine optimization when you actually have the text. But there's still opportunities with that as well, with tagging and so forth. But that's a great question.
Okay. Our next question is, how do you feel the usual business model is morphing from internal to external leveraging?
I'm just wondering if they're talking about using marketing professionals. Is that what you think their question is?
I get the sense that it's kind of related to what was the phrase you used? Something about thought. If the person who sent in the question can give us a little more clarification. I'm thinking it's more that you use people on the outside to comment on your product or service more than speaking about it yourself.
Oh, you know what? I think what they're probably asking is, as far as is about the messaging and news that you share. Internal, a lot of times you mean we have this new staff hire, or they're talking about things happening at their company. That's all fine, and those are great updates, and they perhaps have a role. But when you're writing a blog and you're looking for it to have wide usage, commentary on things happening externally, in the news, or things happening in the area, or things happening in your industry. That's the type of analysis that will get you broader reach than if it's just limited to your company. Blogging about things happening in your company is okay too, but I just wouldn't make that the paramount thing or the only thing that you talk about. As long as if you're only doing one post a week on your blog and that you're talking about all internal things, you're really limiting yourself. But if you're doing 3 or 4 a week, a couple a week about what's happening internally and some exciting things happening, but if one or two of the other ones are about external things, I think that's great.
Josh, let me jump in here. This is Andi. One of the things that I find working with small business owners on the development of their company is that they begin with a very clear understanding from an inside point of view, what is it that we do? And if you're going to be successful in social media, it's got to be focused outwards as well to what does our customer care about, not what do we do, but what does our customer care about, and how can we help our customers' world get better. And I think the big challenge for many small business owners is we're so close day to day with what we do, it's a little bit challenging to step outside the business and look in from our customer's perspective. And yet when you can begin to do that, then you can begin to shape this message and answer the questions that your customers are going to care about and respond to.
Absolutely.
We did get a little clarification on the question, and it's, kind of talking about the ability to be nimble in the market because you've got no long-term overhead commitment. And so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure how that relates to internal or external.
Kathy, can you say that again?
Yeah, the response was, yes, marketing and any other kind of service which can create the ability to be nimble in the market because of no long-term overhead commitment.
Oh, so they were talking about staffing.
And outsourcing versus insourcing?
Yeah, yep, that's what they were talking about. Yeah, I mean, there are many advantages. What a lot of companies do, is they're outsourcing certain competencies. For example, my firm, we're not big enough to hire a CFO. We're just under 20 employees, but not quite the level to hire a CFO. So I outsource to a CFO consultant. And many companies outsource marketing or social media or PR or website building.